I don't know if this is awkward or not, but this is the realities of living out of a small van without a bathroom. So our names are Mike and Heather. We're traveling the US in our van Appa on a mission to visit all 50 states. Subscribe and join us as we try to figure out this whole van life thing. As always, thanks for watching. Good morning from just outside Anchorage. We boondocked at a spot right near Mirror Lake, and we are heading towards Palmer because tomorrow we are going on a glacier walk in that area. But today's kind of like a little bit of a free day as far as we don't really have anything planned. So it's kind of just what we like to call a maintenance day. There's a couple of things that we need to do today for our van and just life in general. So we're gonna get to it.
Look at how I'm living. Just look at how I'm living. I'm taking what I'm giving. Just look at how I'm living. Just look at how I'm living. Just look at how I'm living. Taking what I'm giving.
We've been in Alaska for close to about 2 weeks here, and we've done lots of fun things, including going to see the bears at Katmai National Park, seeing orcas on a sea life spotting cruise in Seward. What else have we done?
Hiking.
Yeah, hiking to glaciers, doing polar bear swims in really cold water. So we've been doing lots of fun things here in Alaska, a lot of big ticket cliche bucket list items, but not every day can be like that. We have some days in between where we just gotta live out of our van, and today is going to be one of those days. First up on our list of things to do is to go grocery shopping. So we haven't really been eating out here in Alaska to keep costs down, and therefore we need to restock on our groceries because they're a little bit low at this point. The other good thing about going grocery shopping is there will be bathrooms. We get a lot of questions about our bathroom situation because our van is small and doesn't have a built-in bathroom. There's gas stations, grocery stores, public pit toilets, just as it would be in the lower 48 here in Alaska, so it's not really an issue to find a bathroom.
The bathroom situation, shower situation isn't the most glamorous, and we rely a lot on public facilities, but it's serviceable. A lot of places that we would be going anyway have facilities to use, so it's really not as bad as you might think, not having one built into the van. I think there are times that we wish we didn't have to go through the hassle and we would have appreciated having one, but it works out the way that it needs to.
We do have bathroom supplies in our van for when we can't find them, and we'll show you those a little bit later here today, but for the most part, bathroom situation is totally fine. On our way to the grocery store in Palmer, we are passing the Alaskan State Fairgrounds in Palmer. It is after Labor Day now, and they are breaking it down at the State Fair, but it's really neat to see. It looks like they must load it up on the train and ship it back out, but we have made it to Palmer. We are heading to Fred Meyer. We pour things into plastic bags because bags can be mushed up and reshaped, whereas boxes are a little bit harder to find space for, so it's easier to shove bags into places basically. It's like playing a game of Tetris back here, if I'm being honest. So we have successfully gone grocery shopping and used the bathroom, and now we are headed to hopefully find an oil change because we are in desperate need of one at this point after putting on all the miles here in Alaska. Before we go and try to find a place to get an oil change, well, we mostly got essentials like bread and rice and some things to make meals. We did splurge a little bit on a little bit of a treat. It's birthday cake cupcakes.
Funfetti icing.
Those are Mike's favorite, and his birthday is in about a week, so we're close enough to be able to enjoy some cake. I'm pretty sure there's a saying like eat cake for breakfast, so that's what we're gonna do today. Worth it.
The frosting is really good.
It's a busy place.
Right now, my walking side of things, I probably need about 2.5 hours to get that done.
Okay. Is it cool to just hang on the wing there?
If you guys don't mind that, we can do that.
We did manage to find a place that could change our oil. It's the Midas right here in Palmer. The only thing is it's going to be about a 2.5 hour wait. They do have a nice waiting room, so I think we're gonna head in there. It's not necessarily a bad thing because we do have work that we have to get caught up on and do today. So, well, I guess we're just gonna be doing it in the Midas waiting room as we get our oil changed because it is a must and it's not the end of the world. Now we're just getting our computers and everything that we'll need to work in our backpacks so that way we can get to it. So I managed to get some good work done while we were waiting for our oil change at the Midas, and it was a lot quicker than 2.5 hours. I'd say it was definitely under an hour, or maybe just about an hour.
I think they had said it would take about 2.5 hours for it to get in, and it was maybe 45 minutes from the time we checked in to the time we were done. It was really quick.
Yeah, so it was quick. So we got a little bit of real work done, and then I was working on the vlog. Unfortunately, our Lacy hard drive that we store thing on, the cord's been messed up for a while now, and every time I'm like trying to do something, it'll just crash because the plug will stop working, and it's just been an issue. So I haven't really been able to edit that much. Just to let you know how far behind we are, we uploaded the Route 66 recap video, and it looks like when I tried dragging over some clips and having it saved, that must have been one of the times that the Lacy hard drive cord wasn't working really well, and I ended up saving it and uploading a video that didn't have all the clips in that I thought were in it because we've been having some technical difficulties. So I think what we're gonna actually do is backtrack all the way back to Anchorage, which is just over about a half-hour drive back. So it's not the worst thing, but we can't really edit or do anything with our Lacy hard drive because the cord is messed up.
We've had luck with the Amazon storage lockers that you can order something to, but because we're not really staying anywhere too long, we're probably better off just backtracking towards Anchorage, grabbing the stuff from the Best Buy there, and getting the problem fixed now.
These are the realities of being on the move and living out of our van for an extended period of time / trying to create YouTube videos and upload them. We're not experts by any means in this whole YouTube thing, and we're just trying and learning, and this is obviously a huge learning curve for us. 1, double check your video before you post it to go live, and 2, just get something fixed. Don't try working with it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go fix our cord so that way hopefully it'll prevent issues like this in the future. But yeah, thanks for bearing with us.
It's not perfect because it's USB instead of USB-C on the other end, so we'll have to use the Anchor plug-in thing that we got to have multiple ports, but it will work.
Alright, so Best Buy was successful-ish, mostly. I'll call it a win. We got the proper cord to be able to put it into our Lacy drive. I'll just grab it now to explain, because I'm sure this doesn't make sense to anybody who doesn't have a Lacy.
External hard drive is what she's talking about. Lacy is the brand.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the external hard drive that has all of our footage, pictures, everything that we've been filming for our YouTube and vlogging and personal memories. And then this is the cord that it goes into. So this part, that part, perfectly fine. That doesn't have any issues. It goes in. But this is all messed up. So I don't know if you can see, but it's not supposed to be slanted like that. I have no idea how this happened. It just, one day we took it out of the case and it was like this.
Somehow we may have sat on a laptop while it was plugged in and it bent that way. But
yeah, that's our theory. But because this doesn't go flat into the laptop anytime that I was using it or would slightly move, it would disconnect everything, then nothing would save. Basically, it forced me to have to restart projects lots of different times. So very happy that we got the new cord, even though it doesn't have this type of plug.
It is a older USB cable on this end, but it does have the correct
part that goes into
attachment here, which we should probably double check just to make sure. Yay, it works.
And because we have Macs, I know that we have Samsung phones. That's just who we are. Okay, so because we have MacBooks, the MacBooks require this type of what do you call it?
Connection.
This type of connection, and they don't have any USB connections. Why? I don't know, probably makes too much sense, but we have this thing, which is an adapter for the MacBook, so it plugs into the MacBook this way, and you can plug in all of your extensions here. So it's a little bit wonky, but it works.
So this should allow us to move forward
And replace this broken cord with this.
this setup. So it works. I'm happy. This was actually the last cord that they had in stock here at Best Buy. We would have loved to get a replacement that was the USB-B connection that the Lacey takes, and with the USB-C, which is what the Mac has. That would have been perfect, but I think we'll call it a win because we're at least now able to move forward with this in a not broken fashion. So thumbs up, thanks Anchorage Best Buy. That was a success.
Now there's a few things that we were wanting to get done. One of them being laundry, the other one washing our van because we haven't washed it since we've been in Alaska and it's taken a beating up here, so it definitely needs it. And then to eat because I'm starting to get hungry.
We could eat now though. Just put something in the air fryer, or there's restaurants nearby that we could go get a bite to eat at.
Or we can go find a boondocking spot. These are the decisions and things that when you are living out of your van or RV, vehicle, whatever, you always have to figure out every single night where you're gonna stay, when you're gonna eat, and yeah, it can be fun, but it can also be stressful. But mostly fun, because I mean, we're in Alaska.
We are 2 miles away from getting to 135,000 miles on Appa. We bought this van at 97,000 miles, so we've driven 38,000 miles on it. And on this trip alone, we've put, what, 16,000 miles on it since then, which is pretty amazing. Just in the last, what, 2.5 months, almost 3 months, we've traveled that far. So we're definitely exploring and adventuring.
We get a lot of questions on how our van runs, how it does on hills, if we have any transmission issues, because I think that's what a lot of people are concerned with when buying this type of van. And knock on wood, which our bed is made out of wood, so I'm not jinxing ourselves here. We haven't had any engine problems or transmission problems or any real big problems with our van. Knock on wood once more, just because I really don't want to jinx ourselves here. So we've gone up and down mountains. We've driven this all the way up to Alaska on the Alaska Highway. So we've been from the East Coast to the West Coast, and so far our little van is proving that it is more than capable to do all that.
We really have been very, very happy with this van and what it's allowed us to do in terms of visiting different locations. We're not restricted by length requirements on some of those twisty, turny roads through the mountains. We're able to drive in and around cities without issue. We get good gas mileage. The bed and living area in the back is more than enough for us to do what we're doing the way that we're doing it. So while I think that there are things that we wish we had sometimes, and maybe in the future we would go bigger or do something different, I wouldn't change a thing for the way we're doing everything now.
We love our van. Yeah, there's lots of people down there.
Is there?
Yeah,
Maybe that's what it
there's
was.
lots of RVs.
Okay, yeah. All right.
We accidentally drove past our boondocking spot for the night because we weren't sure if the road was really the road for where we're needing to be, but it was because we saw a bunch of other RVs down there, which is always a good sign. I know that a lot of the times you want like to be remote and have your own privacy, but we always like seeing other RVs or vans because safety in numbers type of thing sometimes, you know? So we drove out of Anchorage, past Palmer, on our way to the Manitousca Glacier because we are going on a glacier walk tomorrow. And this is just a pull-off on the side of the road up against the river. We get most of our camping spots off of iOverlander, which is an app that you can look for free camp spots. It also lists off showers oftentimes, places where you can do laundry. It's just a really helpful resource for when you're looking for boondocking sites, regardless of the state that you're in. That doesn't look like that bad. It's a little muddy looking, but not terrible.
Yeah, maybe we'll try and find a spot that we can be by the river.
I like all the fall colors. We're here at the beginning of September now, but it's full on fall and here in Alaska, so all the yellow leaves and the oranges, and it's just really pretty. So even on a day like today where it's a little bit overcast, Alaska is still stunning. Oh, this one's fine, but I'd back up and like just go along that road. But worst case scenario, we can park here. They got a good spot right up against the water.
So did they. But there's still a number of spots down there, and worst case scenario, we'll go take one of those and be extremely pleased with it.
Yeah.
But our hope would be to try and find a spot that is kind of right on the riverbank. So
It's pretty.
If that's possible, we're gonna go explore on the other side because there's a pull-off on that side as well.
And
we'll check that out, and if not, we'll come back over here. There was a nice kind of secluded spot tucked into some trees, so plenty of good options.
But we are right on Kings River right now, and on iOverlander it showed that there are spots on either side of this highway to find it. I think this one actually said it was a little bit bigger, and I can already see some vehicles, so don't know if we're gonna get a river spot today, but it's still beautiful in here nonetheless. Driving to the other side of the highway paid off. We now have riverside camping views. So it's really cool. It's a glacier stream, so it's really bright blue. I don't know if it's necessarily showing up right now because it's a little bit cloudy out and dark, but it's really pretty.
So we took a dirt road down. You don't need 4x4 or anything. There was just some bumps that you had to go through, but definitely doable, and really pleased with the spot we found for tonight. This is amazing camping in Alaska.
Best part, free.
I know I'm calling past your bedtime. I hope you don't mind me waking you up at night to find out if you might like to meet me outside your patio. I've been hoping maybe you might open up and tell me alright. Let's go see what living is like. Do ya wanna go way out beyond? Do ya wanna go way out beyond? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya?
For dinner, we have crispy chicken, Chinese chicken food that we cooked in the air fryer.
Tempura chicken?
Yeah, it comes with a little sauce packet, so that's convenient. And we just have your standard white rice, so that's what we're cooking for dinner.
I'm gonna try the rice.
It's a little bit soupy still. It's not quite ready, but we're hungry, so we're probably going to eat it. We have finished dinner, cleaned up our mess, and put away all of our cooking stuff back into our cabinet. But I promised you an explanation of our bathroom situation a little bit earlier, so I'm going to run through it right now, mostly because I have to pee, and this is a good segue. Most of the time, we just use bathrooms out in the public. Finding a bathroom or finding a toilet really isn't an issue during the day. At night, it gets a little bit more challenging, especially if we aren't in a spot where we can kind of just nature pee or go to the bathroom outdoors. So we have some things that I'm going to run through real quick. When we are out in the wilderness and have to go to the bathroom, this is used to dig what they call a cat hole, and then you bury your business. So this is for number twos. For number ones, guys have no issues, but being a girl, I have two things that are helpful. So one is called the Go Girl. This is one that I take on the hike, so I've never used this one before. I have what's called a Shiwi. Now I've never actually used this because I just kind of go, but this does come in handy if you're on like hiking trails and don't have as much like free range to be able to like I don't know if this is awkward or not, but this is the realities of living out of a small van without a bathroom. So I have a Shiwi. I've never actually used this, but I pack it with my hiking stuff just in case. Usually I just nature pee without it. And then another really helpful thing is called a Kula cloth. So this is to replace toilet paper. So this is only used for number ones, and it's antimicrobial, so you can use it more than once. It comes in handy on hiking trails, so that way you're not littering trails with toilet paper, but it's specifically designed for women to go hiking and to use as that. And it is machine washable, so you can just throw it into a washing machine, or you can hand wash it, whatever. It says, a former park ranger and backpacking instructor was frustrated with discarded toilet paper and started using a pea cloth as a zero waste alternative and wondered if they could design one that was a piece of gear. So that's where this came from. That's some of our bathroom situation. And this is more for like when we're out in nature and have the wilderness to be able to use it in. When we're in a Walmart parking lot or a Cracker Barrel parking lot, that's when things get interesting if there's not like a gas station bathroom that we can go to. and we have to come under the bed to get that supplies. So the first thing is a pop-up toilet. Now we haven't ever gotten to the point where we needed to use this, but this is a pop-up toilet that packs down really tiny. I kind of went through our bathroom situation in our van tour way back, so I'll insert clip here of how it pops up to be because I don't really want to go through the whole process right now. But for emergencies, if we're in a Walmart parking lot and we can't get to a bathroom and can't go out in nature, that's why we have a pop-up toilet. And then the last thing that I do use quite often, so we call it a pee jug, but I think it's really like a portable urinal type thing. But this has an attachment for women to be able to use it, which does come in handy. Again, this is kind of like an emergency. We're in a parking lot, we can't nature pee, and we gotta go. So then we'll just go. It has a cap that's also in the jug that we keep this in. We do sanitize this after, so that's fine. But yeah, so it does have a lid that you can then put on it and kind of store it in the footwell until we get to a place that we can dump it safely and sanitarily, mostly in pit toilets, porta potties, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's our bathroom situation, in case you were wondering. Honestly, the things that we probably use the most are the pee jug for when we are in those situations. Everything else is kind of just nice to have.
We haven't needed all of them, but I think that if there was a time that we did, I would rather devote a little bit of space to that and have an option than to get to a point where there's no recourse if it is an emergency situation.
But yeah, I hope this was enlightening.
So today was a really good day. We try and schedule in maintenance days every so often so we can catch up on stuff. What we do that day is based sometimes off what we haven't had a chance to do in a while. It could be cleaning the van, it could be getting work done, really just a little bit of everything depending on what we're in need of. But we definitely enjoy having those when we can get them because we do move pretty quickly. Today was a much needed day and I feel like we accomplished a lot.
We hope you enjoyed us on kind of our low-key day here in Alaska. This is realistically what we're doing in between all of our big excursions. So if you do like seeing this type of stuff, let us know and we'll do more of it. But thank you so much for joining us even on our little adventures out in Alaska. We're gonna get to bed now because we have an early morning start for the Matanuska Glacier hike that we have. So we hope y'all join us then. But until then, good night everyone.